Hey guys, it's Mallory here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to share something that was very helpful for me, which is a baby sleep schedule. So my son Asher is napping right now. He is 11 months old, and I just thought it would be really helpful to share our current sleep schedule and then like the tools and tips that we used for sleep throughout. He's always been a great sleeper. You know, obviously we've had regressions and struggles here or there, but I just thought I would share an example of what his schedule looks like now. So today I have been filming like when he woke up and when he's gone down for naps, and I will link a resource down below. So let's just get into it. As I said, Asher is 11 months old right now, and this current sleep schedule that he's on is the one that he has been following a couple months now. He does 2 naps a day, and you just kind of stretch the wake windows. So that's one important thing I want to mention. First tip is wake windows and what those are. So wake windows are the amount of time from when your baby wakes up to when they go to sleep again. So in between waking up in the morning and their first nap, in between their naps, and in between their last nap and their bedtime. Those are called wake windows, and that's very important for babies of every age. It's very important to have lots of activity, to be in like the sunlight or in a light room, playing with toys, practicing development and new skills and all those kinds of things, so that they're actually tired enough to go to sleep. So wake windows timing is very important. So right now at 11 months, Asher stays awake around 3 hours every wake window. So for between waking up and his first nap, it's usually right up at 3 hours. It's starting to stretch a little to like 3.5. Then between naps, it's 3.5. Sometimes he's stretching a little bit more now. So you kind of have to be flexible. You have to watch for sleep cues, but I'll talk about that afterwards. And then between his second nap and bedtime, he lasts 3 hours. So it's going to be different for each baby. I think in her schedule, it's supposed to be closer to 4 hours for the last wake window. But what we found for Asher is he stays awake the most in between naps and in the afternoon. In the evening, he actually gets tired right around 3 hours. So that's number 2 tip. And what to watch for are sleepy cues. So when Asher is rubbing his eyes, when he is kind of like not dozing, but like looking into the distance, not as engaged with his toys, getting kind of fussy, and then of course like yawning and things like that show being tired as well. So the key to wake windows is they're a helpful guide and tool to know, okay, I'm looking at about 3 hours. So I look at this app that I use called Baby Tracker. I've mentioned it in other videos, but it looks like this. It is very helpful for being able to track when he sleeps, when he nurses, all that kind of stuff. Now what we use the most is the sleeping one, and you can keep track of all these things, but I definitely like more of a strict type A structure kind of person, so we keep him on a pretty tight schedule, and that just works best for us. Definitely don't need to do that in order to still take away some tools and tips from taking care of babies or from this video. But anyways, she does recommend, you know, watching those wake windows, and she has it all laid out for you in the schedule of something that you can follow, but each baby's going to be different and you want to watch for their cues. So that's going to be the most important. And you can kind of try to stretch them and see how they're doing. So for me, I'm not trying to stretch Asher to 4 hours, even though that's on the schedule, because he sleeps great during naps. He takes pretty long naps, like over an hour, sometimes 2 hours. And then at night, he sleeps 11 to 12 hours. So from his bedtime to the morning, he sleeps the entire night. I don't have to go in at all. I don't have to give him the pacifier anymore. I don't have to do anything. But you know, it took time to build up to that. So I hope that, you know, some of those tips are helpful. But just to go through the example of his actual schedule right now, today, I documented. So he woke up around 6:30 a.m. So he went to sleep for his first nap at 9:30. He actually was starting to show sleepy cues being a little bit fussy a little bit earlier. He had only been awake like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I was like, okay, I'll just go in and do his routine and I'll read an extra book or two and then put him down. And it worked great. He went to sleep super easily. It was totally fine. He slept a little bit shorter than usual as well. So he only slept like an hour and 20 minutes, which yesterday he slept 2.5 hours his first nap. So that's where you have to follow the wake windows rather than like a strict time schedule, which I had always kind of been under the impression before having my baby and following these tips that I would follow like a daily schedule based on these times and it would be, you know, tracked that way. But really I have to be flexible. My days look different every day based on when he wakes up in the morning, when he goes down for a nap, and how long he naps. So it's ever changing, but it's still pretty tight and strict. I am anyways. You don't have to be. So then he woke up and we actually ended up having a last minute hangout with a friend. So that was great. Got to go over to her house and she has 2 little boys. So he got to play with them. And like I said, it's very important during wake windows to have a lot of stimulation and activity and just be able to really kind of wear them out essentially so that they sleep well. So then we raced home and I pushed him to being awake a little over 3.5 hours. He was definitely tired in the car seat, but I wanted to make sure he stayed awake. And then when we got back, he went to sleep around 2:30-ish. You'll see on the video. And he is still sleeping and it's 3:20. Yeah, I just feel like it's really important and helpful to follow a sleep schedule. We also have a nap time and bedtime routine. They're basically the same. So I will definitely do a video on that as well, but I'm going to do that separately. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Like I said, check out the Taking Care of Babies website. She has lots of free resources and tools. Her Instagram is great, but you can also purchase those courses and I do recommend them for sure. It worked wonders for Asher and I'm definitely going to be using it for baby number 2 as well. So I will keep you updated on that. You should subscribe to follow along and see my journey with transitioning from 1 to 2 kids and all the newborn fun stuff that's going to be coming up very soon. She is due at the end of March. And that's basically it. I will see you next time. Bye.